Okay, so welcome back. So what we're going to do today is we're going to cover a question I got to cover under section 1.3, conditionals and loops. We're going to cover an exercise. This is one of the questions I got over here to cover this section over here. What is the value of J after each of the following code fragments is executed? So we're going to cover this today, a short video, and hopefully you'll get some insight on how this works. Just a quick note, if you have other exercise questions you want me to cover, please let me know in the comments on the YouTube channel, or you can go to Code2Go as well. I've got courses here as well, tutoring options. But if you just want to know if you want to cover some exercises, just leave a comment here. By all means, you can do that. So let's get back into it. All right, so this is the question we have over here. What is the value of J after each of the following code fragments is executed? So you can work this out in your mind if you want, pen and paper, or you can just type it out, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So let's get this up and running. Let's get my environment up and running. And I have a file here for this specific exercise. And let's have a look what we're going to do. So let me just copy this one as is. And again, we're gonna need our library standard IO to maybe just draw some or to print some things to the screen. So this code is not going to work because it's indented incorrectly, and we'll just fix that quickly. And let's just see if this works. Standard IO dot write line. Hello world. Well, I'm going to type hello world. There we go. All right. So let me go to CD exercises. CD exercises. See what it is. Yeah, so CD exercises gets me there, and then I have my file over here, so can run that, and I should just get something out, which is hello world. Now just checking the code runs. Again, this is all you need to actually run your code. We're just testing, a small piece of code. So how does this code actually work? This for loop, this is a practical exercise to understand for loops. So let's see. Well, we first initialize a variable J, and it's going to be set to 0. So J starts at 0. So we know J starts at 0. Okay, so we can trace the variables it changes. And then we have a for loop, standard for loop structure for I in range. So a range is a built-in Python function that counts effectively or enumerates from 0 to 10. You can actually test this in Python if you want. See what you get if I say range 0 to 10. To get a range of 0 to 10. So built-in function to test that it does well. Okay. So clear that, I don't need it anymore. So have a enumerator variable I, which is only known in this code for I in a range of 0 to 10. So no, I will start at 0. So I will start at 0 until 10. Will it go until 10? We shall see. And I'm going to test that out and add another comment here. Standard IO write line for I. Let's actually see what, before anything happens, what actually I prints out. We're not gonna not going to do anything else, but just check what I prints out. Again, this is how we debug the code to understand how things work. We are playing around with Python. Figuring out what works and what does not work. So let's just run this. Let's code again. And we see that it goes from 0 to 9. It doesn't actually end at 10. So it's very important to note what range does it? Goes from 0 to 9, not to 10. So it just counts the number of elements or just be to 10. Okay, that's fine. So understand that. And then we have a shorthand where we have I, j plus equals I. I don't really like this to explain this to people new to programming. I prefer just saying j equals j plus I. This is actually what I prefer to use, just a bit more intuitive to understand. So what happens, if you've seen this before, this is a basic summation, piece of code where we're summing the numbers each time. So what happens, the first time the for loop goes, we align, for example, 5. It's a loop, right? It loops many times. So the calculation is going to be j equals j is first 0, so it's 0 plus 0, right? Because j is 0 and I is 0. Okay, that's initially. Then loops again. I becomes 1, and then our trace becomes j equals 0 plus 1, right? Because now j is still 0, but now I has become 1. I becomes 1, through this for loop, and then it loops again. So now I becomes 2, and then j becomes 1 plus 2, and so on. So this repeats until effectively I becomes 9. Effectively, I becomes 9. So what is a final result that you're going to get? Well, let's print out what j is. If we print out j, we'll see what the final result is going to be. Run that file, and you're going to get 45. So this is a very basic piece of code, and it sums numbers together, right? That's all it's pretty much doing. You get the same if you use the shorthand, but I prefer this for teaching. So the answer is 45. All right, so that's what we get over here. Pretty straightforward. Okay, for B, what happens here? Well, this says j equals 1, which is different. I in the range of 0 to 10 still say the same, but now this is different over here. It says j plus equals j. So let's see what this one gives us. Let's go back to my code. Let's go over here. Okay, let's fix this indentation. This is going to break, so let me fix that. So let's do our trace again. So our trace is a j starts at a 1. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to comment this out and rather use j equals j plus j effectively. This is effectively what's happening. So, and I'm going to copy this over here. So final result. So what's going to happen when you do this? So what do you think is going to happen here? Well, if it's difficult for you to see, well, just write it out, type it out, and just check. So j equals 1, and then it says j equals j plus 1. Type it out until you start to see the pattern, right? So this is what we need to replace. So j equals 1 plus 1 effectively. Okay. So that's gonna equal 2. All right. And then next, so then j equals j is going to become 2 plus 2 effectively. It's going to 4. And that iterates until the end. So let's see what the final result is going to be. It's going to be 1024. 1024. Cool. And the last question for j in range of j plus equals j. Okay, this one should be straightforward over here. Let's do another one. So now what's that over there? So now what is our trace here? Well, j trace is going to be j equals 0. We know that because of the range. So j will first be 0, and then Just comment that out. I don't like using this initially. So J equals J plus J. So how will this look like? So it's going to be so it's going to be 0, 0 plus 0 initially, and then it's going to loop again. J will become 1. J will become 1, and then it's going to be J equal 1 plus 0 effectively until it continues. Well, actually, it's going to be 1 plus. Well, J changes to 1, so then it's going to become 1 plus 1. And then J will become 2, and so on, right? And then it will repeat. So the same process repeats. So let's see what result we get. Put it here. You get 18. Okay. So hopefully you understand that process. And again, if you struggle to figure it out, just type it out as I did. I worked out in the terminal or worked out in code, and hopefully that helps. Okay, cool. If you have any other exercises you want me to go through, again, post comments on the YouTube channel or go to the site and leave a message here. Cool. Until next time, thank you very much.